When we talk about AI and higher education, it's so often about what the tech companies are promising, these big futuristic visions. But today, we're going to look at a different story. We're going to look at what's really happening on the front lines, what over 1,000 faculty members are actually seeing in their classrooms right now. If you're an educator, I bet that quote hits you right in the gut. You know exactly what that feels like. You've seen that essay. It's grammatically perfect, the vocabulary is on point, but there's just nothing there. There's no spark, no real thought. And you're left wondering, am I grading the student's learning or just their ability to use a tool? And here's the thing, that gut feeling you have, it's not just you. It's not an anecdote. A huge survey from the American Association of Colleges and Universities and Elon University basically confirms it. What you're seeing is part of a massive nationwide trend. All right, so let's dig into the hard data. Let's really see what this crisis of learning looks like from the perspective of the people who are actually grading the papers and guiding the students day in and day out. Okay, get ready for this. A staggering 95% of faculty surveyed believe that students are developing a seriously dangerous over-reliance on these AI tools. Now think about that. That's not a small minority with some concerns. That's pretty much a universal consensus. And that over-reliance, it comes with a steep price. A full 90% of those same educators are worried that these tools are actively weakening students' critical thinking skills. And on top of all that, academic integrity is taking a huge hit. 78% report that cheating on their campus has gone up since generative AI became so easy to access. No, this is the key point right here. This isn't just about professors being afraid of new technology. Not at all. This is a fundamental warning from professionals who know that the struggle, the hard work of learning, that's not a bug. It's the entire feature. And they're watching it get replaced with cheap, easy efficiency. So once you see it that way, the whole debate just shifts. It moves us past that simple, are you for or against AI argument, and it helps us start asking a much, much smarter question. The real concern is this concept called learned helplessness, and it's exactly what it sounds like. The fear is that we're giving students a tool that, instead of helping them build their mental muscles, just lifts the weight for them. And that doesn't create new strength, it just creates dependency. So that's the real challenge, isn't it? We have to get way better at telling the difference. When does an AI tool act like a valuable assistant, a co-pilot? And when does it just become a crutch that prevents any real learning from happening at all? To really make this idea crystal clear, there's this fantastic analogy that comes from the world of athletics. This is the question this whole analogy helps us wrap our heads around. When we look at AI in the classroom, which one is it really? Think about it like this. A basketball player might use a special sleeve to help correct their shooting form, right? Or a swimmer uses fins in practice to build up their leg strength. Those are supportive tools. But what happens if the player never takes the sleeve off, or the swimmer never swims without the fins? The very tool that was supposed to build the skill now actively prevents it. It becomes a permanent crutch. And that right there, that is a perfect picture of what faculty are seeing every day. Students are getting really good at using the tool. They're becoming fluent in writing prompts. But they aren't developing any fluency with the actual ideas because they never take off the training wheels to see if they can actually ride the bike on their own. So, with such a clear challenge in front of us, how is the education system responding? Well, the data shows it's kind of messy. It's a system that's reacting in patches, not with a solid, unified strategy. Just take a look at this chart. It's incredible. A whopping 87% of individual faculty have taken it on themselves to create AI guidelines for their own classes. But then look at the institutions as a whole. That number plummets to less than half. And departments, even lower. The response is happening in these little isolated bubbles. And all this points to a massive institutional readiness gap. Get this, 2/3 of faculty feel like their schools have basically left them unprepared for this new world. A tiny 16% of schools have created any leadership roles for AI strategy, and even fewer, just 13%, have formally made AI literacy a core learning goal. It's a totally reactive stance, not a proactive one. Okay, I know that sounds pretty bleak, but it's not all doom and gloom. The report actually gives us a really clear, tangible action plan for any educator who wants to move from just reacting to this problem to actually leading on it. And the steps are wonderfully practical. This week, just audit one of your assignments. Could a student get an A on it using only AI without learning a thing? If the answer is yes, it's time for a redesign. This month, get your department together, but don't start by talking about AI rules. Start by talking about learning goals, and then figure out where AI helps or hurts. And then this semester, think bigger. Push for your whole institution to make AI literacy an official, properly resourced learning outcome. And in the end, that's what this all boils down to. All this data from faculty on the front lines, it forces us to confront this one massive question head on. Are we preparing students to be expert users of a tool, or are we building their own unique human capabilities? The path we choose is going to define the value of education for a long, long time.